again, the NCAA back in really late March put restrictions in place for Division I and Division II schools coaches in terms of how they can do their recruiting. So right now, no Division I coaches can go off campus to recruit or have student athletes come on campus to recruit. So they're in a recruiting dead period, while Division II schools are currently in a quiet period where, again, there's limitations in terms of getting out and seeing recruits. So the in-person communication, Kyle, the in-person recruiting is limited by the dead and quiet period, but the ability to have conversations it still remains. You can still talk on the phone, email, text message. That hasn't changed with the dead and the quiet period.
Yeah, that's one of the bigger misconceptions out there that we hear pretty often from the parents that we're speaking with on a daily basis, that they think that just because the pandemic is still happening, that COVID-19 is still an issue, that there's still recruiting dead period and recruiting quiet period in place, the college coaches aren't having conversations with prospects. They aren't having conversations with recruits. And it's probably just the opposite in most cases, with them not being able to see in person, with them not being able to go watch them in person or have conversations in person. And for Division I schools not able to bring recruits onto their campuses, they're probably having more conversations. They're probably having more phone calls. They're probably emailing more. In a lot of cases, they're going to be doing Zoom conversations like probably a lot of us professionals are doing, is meeting student athletes over Zoom to continue communicating with them and trying to get to know them a little bit better. I know my sister's a Division II college softball coach, and she's talked about exactly that, having Zoom conversations, Zoom calls with student athletes that they're recruiting to make sure that they still have their interest, to understand kind of what they're looking for and continue to get to know them. So again, it's just a little bit of a transfer, but doesn't mean that coaches aren't trying to communicate with student athletes at this point.
Again, so the dead period is applying to Division I schools. Again, the NCAA has this in place until at least August 31st. It's been extended 4 times really over the spring and summer months. So again, college coaches cannot talk to recruits in person, on campus or off campus, but they are allowed to have conversations through phone, email, text message, social media platforms, whatever that case is. For Division II programs, again, they are in a quiet period through at least August 31st. So again, the communication can be via text, phone calls, emails, direct messages. There can be in person if it's on the college's campus. So that's the one difference maybe in the quiet period, the dead period. For Division III, for NAIA schools, for junior colleges, they don't have the restrictions in place because they're not governed by the NCAA. So there's a little bit more ability for those coaches to be out and about.